What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG is here. Match preview time, and also a little thoughts on Jesse Marsch, our new head coach. I just wanted to give those before the first game that he plays, just so there's no if we win, you was only going to say that if we won. If we lost, you were going to say that. So I wanted to get on before a game against Leicester and just give my thoughts about Jesse Marsch and what I've heard so far. As you come in, as you know, please smash a like. If you're watching a replay, which is more than likely now, smash a like, please. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. T85, good afternoon, Dr. KG. Yeah, it's been like that lately, hasn't it? Triple G mentioning something that Jesse was talking about in his presser today. Sounded to me like he has plans to make Calvin captain, a more special role. That's what I got from that too. Road and rails, fair enough. Very hard not to like him. Hopefully he can bring us results to back up what he's saying. Yeah. Bell saying, yeah, he continues to impress me and he's got a great sense of humor too. And yeah, hello to everyone in the chat so far. And that's what I want to talk about and just touch on the Leicester game. But for me, yeah, I like what he's had to say. I am a big person that says I want to see actions over words, but of course the words are a part of it. It always is, and I like what he said so far. I do. I think he's been very respectful. I think he's been very respectful to the previous manager who's come before him, even with stuff he said today in terms of talking to Victor Walker and thinking it wasn't the right decision to get rid of him. I think that's something that is you don't really hear of that. Managers usually quick to want to get into positions, not wait and see what happens. So he obviously has that integrity about him, which is very good. I think that's something that people worried about post Marcelo, in just the way that Marcelo carried himself in the main. Are we going to go back to shady shysters in coach roles here? And thankfully, so far, touch wood, it seems like he's on the right track. You can only go by your initial feelings, right? That's all you can do. And if you don't feel that he's good, that's your initial feeling. But for me, I think it's going to be a refreshing change. And listen, I said last week after the Spurs game, something had to change. Something did have to change at the club over the next week before the Leicester game. And when you really think about it, there was only one thing that could change, and that was the manager position. Yes, it was a unfortunate way for it to happen. Timing sucks, but you had to look out for the best interests of the club. And I think Radrizzani's come out since and said that he's been active on Twitter again, replying to people and letting people know, yes, it wasn't a perfect situation, but it's something that they had to see happen. And I do agree with that. I do agree in terms of that. It's been hard watching the Marcelo videos this week, not gonna lie. It's been very it's made you reminisce just what he was doing for the first, I would say, 3 years, because I don't think this season, no matter how you want to look back at it rose tinted glasses, it hasn't been good. It just hasn't been good, and it's good. It's good to see a new coach here that looks like he's got the same values but different ideas, and I think that's just what the team's been begging for. Tom Bennett saying, "KG, pray for my Leeds. We got smashed by the Sabres of all teams." Like, I can't cheer you up for that. I got a few Maple Leafs in my fantasy team too, so I can't help you out with that, Tom. But you guys will be fine. You guys will be more than fine. John Crawford, KG, hope you well. Hope everyone else is well too, because I know it's been a really, really tough week. I know it's been a really tough week, but we can only move forward now. We can only look forward, and I think that's what the group are going to do too. Rude Yard saying, just recently subscribed, KG. Think Jesse seems confident and hopefully brings in a few different ideas and a new set of eyes. And that was it for me. I just think that the team needed a new voice. I do, because it's not saying a lot. I know social media doesn't say everything, but there's not even been comments from every player that he helped get to the Prem. And I don't think Luke Ayling said anything. Correct me if I'm wrong. You would expect someone like Luke Ayling to have said a couple of words, even if it's not him or his PR guy, to say thanks for actually getting me to the Prem, because without you, I would never have touched the Premier League stage. So I think the message and everything else just got lost, and it happens. It doesn't matter how great a coach is, a message can get lost, and I think that's just what happened with Marcelo. with a few of these players. You've seen it. The confidence is on the floor. You know, the players did need a pick me up, and I think that's what Jesse alluded to, and I think somebody mentioned that uh, in the comments. But yeah, he alluded to that. The players they were on the ground, so it was the right choice, and I will say that. Jason saying, very impressed, got to catch you live. Tobes, man got a clean shave to celebrate Jesse Marsch. A man can't shave now, Tobes. Is that what I'm hearing? You just watch your back because they're going to come for you on the big six tonight, Tobes. Okay? Need you to keep your head, please. Michael S saying, is 12 games enough for Jesse to make his mark? I think so. I think managers have come in with less time. And the fact is, I know 4 days doesn't sound a lot, but it sounds like from what he said today, the players are already picking up on the ideas he's got. And I don't want to talk about anything in terms of previous, in terms of his formations and coaching at previous clubs, because even he's come in today and said that he's working on a formation. He's not going to reveal what it is. But if it was the same as like he used at Leipzig and Salzburg, I think he would have just said so. But I think you have to work with what you've got. And even he's coming and he won't say it out loud, but he knows that the quality of play here is nowhere near what he had at Leipzig and Salzburg. He was working with Szoboszlai, Erling Haaland. Like, we certainly don't have any of those players here, bar Rafinha and Calvin Phillips. So he will be working on something new, and I'm excited to see what it is. T85 Saturday can't come soon enough. I'm anxious to see our new style of play, our new style, and if the players look better. That's all we can hope for. That's all we can hope for. Bandy saying, our Jesse talks a good fight. Leicester's game is similar to ours under Bielsa. It will be interesting to see how it goes. It will. It will. Danny Bravo saying, big up KG. I like the look of him so far. Speaks very well. Hopefully this will be the start of a successful reign. Yeah. Robbie, like it or not, what Radrazani did was leadership, simple as that. Yeah, I mean, you can say it was a day late and $1 short, but he did it. He had to. And I'll say this. I mean, listen, it's on my videos previously, so it's nothing new that I'm saying, but I just couldn't see where the next win was coming from with this team. I couldn't see us conceding less than 3 a game. And what are you supposed to do with that? You can't do anything with that going forward in the Premier League. You just can't. So I understand. I do completely understand why Radrazani did it. I just think that the whole season has been a farce, and there was a better way that it could have been done. But it was the right choice, absolutely. Ruben saying baby face today. What's going on, man? I can't have a shave. What is this? What is this? And yeah, John H also picking up on something else. Sounds like he'll be here regardless, even if we go down. That's what he said. I thought he was going to go a bit around the way like a politician about the question, but he got there eventually in saying whether we're in the Prem or the Champ, he'd be here. And for me, that's what I want to hear. Or depending on how the rest of the season goes. But you want to hear that. You don't want to hear that the coach has got a break in his contract saying if we go down, then I've got a possibility of leaving in the summer. So yeah, it's good. He said all the right things, as we know. Words, small part of it. Your actions are the next part. Loki saying Ailing would probably be playing for Doncaster if it wasn't for Bielsa. Absolutely. And hey, listen, Paul Lucas is saying great channel, KG. He seems like a decent man, but I can't lie, I'm a bit scared as to what he brings, especially in regards to little experience. Time will tell, and everybody has to start somewhere. Absolutely. I mean, he's not starting here, Paul. I will say that though. I mean, I'm not familiar with him, don't get me wrong, but he was at Salzburg and he did get Champions League experience with Leipzig too. So, he's not starting from the absolute bottom. But I hear what you're saying in terms of his approach. It's something unknown, but I'm excited. It's a bit like I always hear about this Premier League experience needed, etc. But you look at like a Bruno Lage for Wolves. How many people knew of Bruno Lage before he came in? And look what he's done to Wolves. He's made them as solid defensively as Nuno did, but he's given them now. They're coming into their own attacking. They're starting to attack better now as they're getting their players back, like Neto and all these guys, and as Jimenez starts to get more comfortable post his head injury. So you've got to look at it and say you don't always have to know the coach, It's just about, is it going to work or not? And that's where I am. I've never been into that. Somebody said in the group chat to me about he's got no Prem experience. I'm like, well, so what? I mean, does that really matter to you? You know, Jurgen Klopp didn't have no Prem experience, but he's come in and he's won it. You know, completely different scale. But you know what I'm saying? You don't have to have just started in the Prem in order to know the league. Ted Garham with a super chat. Thank you, Ted, for the support. Very few Americans could bring a Yorkshire renaissance, but this guy will bring Conte-like energy to the touchline. We will stay up and be terrific. Ted, I hope you're absolutely right. Shout out to Ted, man. He's a low subscriber to the channel, man. Always good for communication. Tom Bennett saying this man has so much charisma. I think he's very charismatic too. Jack Shave Cage looking smooth and younger, man. What the hell? Loki, bye bye, man. Marking, and you know I was going to get into this because I think that's that's the main thing, isn't it? For me, it was one of the main things that I wanted to hear, and he said it today. Jesse come out and said today that you know he was asked what's going to be different, etc. And he said bye bye to the man marking system. He says we will be pressing, we will be hunting in packs, but the man marking system will be gone. There will be select moments where the man marking system will be used, i.e., maybe at a few set pieces, depending on the situation. But for me, that was such a relief. I heard him say it, and I was like, "Thank you, thank you," because the man marking system with this set of players has been killing us all season long. And if everyone's being honest with themselves, I think everyone could see that as well. I think even the players would tell you. You can't go by rumors, but there was rumblings of a couple players going to Bielsa saying we need to adjust. We don't know if that's true, so let's not take that as fact. But you can imagine that being said. You can imagine that being said, and I'm just glad that that will be gone. I, like I said, I was ready for a change in the summer. I didn't want to see Bielsa past the summer. I wanted him to keep us up and say goodbye and what a great, you know, tenure it's been. But the man marking system, I think, would have caused more damage for the rest of the season than getting in a new coach now and trying something new. We don't know if it's going to be successful or not. Only the results will tell you that. But I think the score lines will be a bit more respectable when we do lose. When we lose, we lose. We just get better, don't we? That's been the premise this season. When we've lost, it's been an absolute hammering. We haven't conceded as many goals as we have because we've been okay defensively. It's been a nightmare. And it's not just defensively, it's from the midfield too. And he mentioned that as well. That's another thing he mentioned as well in terms of the transitions. Not getting killed in the transitions. And that has been another thing for us because we've been seeing centre backs drive from their box to our box to attackers and getting goals that way. It just doesn't happen in the Premier League. It doesn't. There's no other team, no matter how bad they've been, that you can say you'll see them just drive a centre back week after week, having joy just running through the centre of your midfield. It doesn't happen. So I'm glad that he's going to address that too. Rebecca saying, what are your thoughts on Bamford being back in training? At one point, it seemed like he wouldn't play before the end of the season. Yeah, I didn't think we'd see Bamford again. But if we're taking him at his word, he'll be back pretty soon. But again, that just shows you the different sets of fitnesses that a regular coach would take and Marcelo Bielsa would take. I think that's kind of where I think that's where you have to draw the comparison there. Maybe under Marcelo, we wouldn't be seeing Bamford before the end of the season, maybe, but it just shows that he does see that he can probably get back sooner than everyone thought, and that's a good thing. And Calvin too. I mean, Michael S is saying it was refreshing to have the press conference in English. Seemed a bit alien, and it's little things like that. Maybe those things do count. I'm not talking like Daily Mail, Talk Sport kind of you need to speak English or else. I'm just talking about just a fresh approach, to this whole thing. Maybe that will be the medicine that we need. Maybe it will be. And Econ, I echo this Econ as well. I really do. Econ saying, put it this way, I'm excited to watch us on Saturday, and that must be the first time in months. Econ, listen, anybody who's been a subscriber of mine in this season alone, you will see I have not been enjoying this season at all. I have not enjoyed this one. I want this season to just end. I want us to stay promoted. I want us to stay in the Prem, but I want this one to just be done. I'm done with this season. And Econ makes a great point. I don't remember the last time I was looking forward to a game, and I specifically remember the Liverpool one where I predicted a 6-0 loss and that came to fruition. All day I was just like, nah, please, I don't want to know about this game. I don't want to talk about this game because I know what's coming. And it was the same for the Spurs one too. So yeah, I'm excited too. I really am. Even though it's an unpredictable game, I think that's what makes it exciting. Just that they're unpredictable, we're certainly unpredictable, and now we have a real unknown factor about us. So who knows what we're going to get? And yeah, that's exciting. And I'm sorry to say, and I am sorry to say, but if Marcelo was still here, I would be worried about this game on Saturday. I'd be like, well, Leicester are gonna, especially after the result against Burnley, the fact that they've got the legend Jamie Vardy back as well. I would be worried. I would be absolutely worried about this game on the weekend. But a fresh, maybe I've got the new manager bounce. Maybe I do. um, let's have a look. Yeah, David Laddie, and this is David Laddie saying, KG, we were poor all season, and that is not something that escapes me. I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of revisionist history over the past few days. I have, but you won't get that with me. We have been bad all season long. It's not even if you want to just take in the February we've just had conceding the most goals in the calendar month in Premier League history. Forget that. We were poor before. Burnley, West Ham, great. But they kind of papered over the cracks. And I said this after the Burnley win. I said, as good as it is, I said, I hope it doesn't paper over the cracks, that we still need fresh players. But I think it did. I think it did paper over the cracks. But yeah, we have been poor all season. That hasn't escaped me either. McAllister saying, I'll take a 0-0 this weekend just to give us a breather. We all need to back Jesse now. And yeah, listen, and I don't speak for everyone, never claim to, but I do hope that even the people that are so disappointed that Bielsa have gone, and there are a lot that they just can't accept it. I just hope that they get behind them. And even if we go 1-0 down against Leicester, I hope that the away support stick with the team, because there's no point going back. We're not going to get Bielsa back. We're going forward now. We have to move forward. And I just hope that all the fans get on board, because you have to support the team. That's what it's about. It's about keeping Leeds United in the Prem. For all the faults that people say about the Premier League, this is the league to be in. It is. It's the best league to be in. It's where you're going to see the best players play, and eventually, hopefully, we'll get more of those best players on our team. But in order to do that, we have to survive. So you've got to back this team and back the manager. Absolutely. Um, just getting some more of your comments. But Ree Bamford, let's hope he doesn't injure himself again celebrating a goal when he returns to the team. Let's hope so. Yeah, I'll bring this up here. Rudyard saying, good to see him laugh and joke about the Ted Lasso stigma, and he answered the 49ers American issue. And that was something for me as well. I mean, the Ted Lasso thing was going to come up just because of he's American. I mean, Jesus Christ, the stereo. I don't even want to talk. I don't want to talk, but yes, it was always going to be brought up. It was. And I'm glad he just addressed that. And hopefully people move on with it now and not just keep on beating him over the head with his Ted Lasso crap. And yes, the 49ers thing, I never bought into this whole thing that if the 49ers want to buy us, so they want to get an American coach and sign Brendan Harrison. That's just, it's too simple. It's too simple just to say that it's all going to be American takeover and what, and then we're going to sign Serginho Dest at right back, or we're going to get Winston McKennie. Come on. I mean, let's be realistic. It was just a matter of these people happen to be American. I tell you, just like that Celtic coach the other month, where they signed 3 Japanese people, and he said what? And he was asked a stupid, ignorant question about why they signed 3 Japanese people. He said, I didn't sign 3 Japanese players. I signed 3 players that can help the team. And that's where I see, and that's what I see with this here. We've got a coach that the board can feel can get a jolt out of this team and move us forward. So that's where I am as well. Um, Bobby, fresh start, fresh face is cagey. I cannot believe a shave has got this much chatter. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. uh, I mean, Bandy saying this, yeah. I mean, to counterbalance things, Southampton did keep Ralph Hasenhüttl in adversity. They did, they did. But listen, we've moved on now. Toves, Toves saying, Serginho Des, you got a better chance of getting Clint Dempsey out of retirement. Toves, I was making the example. I'm not saying we could attract Des. Calma, calma. Oh man. But yeah, listen. I mean, it also says as well. I know, and this is a point as well that a lot of people feel Marcelo was betrayed on, in that JM Marsch revealed that the decision had been made 8 days ago. That is no different to any other football team. When things aren't going right, the board usually look for a contingency plan, and they could see. Everyone could see. If everyone takes off the love of Marcelo Bielsa's glasses, just take them off. You could see it wasn't going to get better. It wasn't. So they made the plan and they made contact um, 8 days ago and got him in. So it seems like it was a backstabbing thing, but it's no different to what any other football club does. You have to have a Would you rather Marcelo be sacked and then we're left with an interim for the rest of the season, or would you prefer that they had a plan in place? I know which one I prefer. Uh, Joe, let's go, yo. Listen to this guy. Has Haribo, it's good to see you smiling, pal. Yeah, listen, for me, I wear my emotions on my sleeve. I cannot come on here when we're getting pammed week after week and be smiling all up in the camera saying everything's going to be all right. I just can't do it. Me being on screen is my emotion to how I'm feeling. And yeah, whether it's stupidly or not, I'm feeling optimistic about this guy. And that is my ultimate take. I am feeling optimistic about this guy, that I feel like he can keep us in the Premier League. Whereas before, I just didn't know where the next one was coming from. Um, let me just see if there was anything else. Uh, yeah, I mean, there's nothing else of major note, just in terms of the stylistic changes and things like that. I'm not going to do a predicted lineup today because, quite frankly, we have no idea what that's going to be. Um, we have no idea, so there's no point me predicting lineup. I'll just say that I would like to see Gelhardt start. That's what I would like to see. Hopefully, he sees that too. Um, but as I've said before, when I said about Bielsa being sacked, we do not have a large pool of talent to choose from. So it's not even like any other club where you go in and you've got two right backs to choose from. You can say to the one that's been playing the most and say, listen, you haven't been doing it. I'm going to see what the understudy's doing. We haven't got that. We've got Luke Ayling, and that's it. So he's going to have to probably play him, well, depending on his system. So we're going to have to go with that. I would like to see him. I like to see Dan James back out on the wing for a start. I like to see us be a bit more compact in midfield, not leave gaps. That would be really nice. But I think he's already on the way to changing that. And I like to see Rafinha back. I think Rafinha will be back. We haven't seen the real Rafinha in a few weeks, and I do think that maybe the coach was an issue, maybe the lack of January signings was an issue. I think there's a whole things that have been issues there. But Rafinha, I think, will be looking like his old self again, and that can only be a plus for us, because the one thing that we do have, what other teams around us don't have, is a Rafinha kind of player. They don't have one of those. So if he's on his game, if he's back on his game and enjoying his football again, that's all going to be better for us. Oh yeah, Robbie saying Rafinha was beaming when he saw him. I hope there's something there. I do too. I do too. And Nicholas saying Bielsa was too advanced for our squad. We do lack intelligence since Pablo left. And Nicholas, this was the problem. Bielsa didn't want to change him, though. So as much as that statement is definitely true in terms of his ideas, because I said it before and I'll say it again, you can play the way Marcelo wants to play, but you've got to have better players. You have to. But he didn't want to change him. He's too loyal to the players. And ultimately, stubborn, whatever you may want to call it, he died on that sword. He didn't think anyone was better than a Mateus Click to bring in January. He didn't think anyone was better than Luke Ayling as a right back. You live and die by your decision. Unfortunately, that's what he's done there. Yorkshire Pirlo, he have he have say. Oh, he did say that Calvin Phillips will get a bigger role, maybe the new captain. I hope so. I've said on here many times, and I've said on the debrief, you need to have a player that's got a little bit of clout for in order to the referees to listen to him. You know, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Luke Ayling, no one's listening to Luke Ayling as a ref. They just turn away from the guy. They don't take him seriously at all. So for me, it shouldn't matter, but it does matter. Your captain does matter. And Calvin Phillips being an England regular, England Player of the Year, he will definitely get more respect than Liam Cooper and Luke Ayling. That's a fact as well. C Stone saying, I'm excited to see Rodrigo as one of the two strikers. Although after one game, I'll probably say I've seen enough. That's another thing as well. Rodrigo. Let's see what Rodrigo can do. Is he going to play as that second striker? Will it be Rodrigo and Gelhardt? That's what I mean. We don't know. That's for me. That's an exciting thing. I'm not scared of it. I'm actually excited about it. So yeah, let's see what he does. Will Rodrigo thrive in a system where he doesn't have to run around? You know, we heard about John Joe Shelby talking to Rodrigo on the pitch last season when he said, "Mate, why do you keep just running around, man? Keep still." And Rodrigo said, "It's what I have to do." So he didn't really know why he was doing it. So let's see. Will we get a tune out of Rodrigo and get his value and then sell him in the summer? That's my hope. You know. Michael S., I know what you think about watch alongs, but will you do one this season if we're guaranteed to stay up and the results don't matter as much? I'm more open to doing one now. Michael, I am more open to doing one now. But you've seen me on the post match reactions. That's just a snippet of when I'm watching the game. When I'm watching the game, it's been not very nice. So I don't want to put that out on screen. It's not what I want my channel to be about. Um, but yeah, I am open to doing watch alongs. Absolutely, I am. We'll select the right game and then go from there. Triple G saying, sadly, I see Rodrigo and Roberts starting. Oh God. Darren Wong, all positive now, but let's hope it doesn't turn toxic if we lose the next 2 to 3 games. Nicholas saying, but that's total bias that refs don't give equal acknowledgement to all players. Nicholas, yes, I know it is, but referees are humans. And please, just look at the games. Just look at the games. Against Man United, Luke Ayling would be trying to talk to the ref. The ref's not even looking at him. Ronaldo, who's not even the captain of Man United, will get a face-to-face chat for about a minute. The Chelsea game when they conceded a pen. The referee was talking to all the Chelsea players. This is why I've had to give the pen. It is a penalty. When we conceded the pen, even though it was a penalty, he was just turning away. These are things that people don't really take notice of, but they matter. Let's have a look. Just touching on Leicester as well. Wow. Wow. Russell, I think you are Dr. Jekyll and Hyde in the sense of what we see on here and how you're watching the game. Just saying. Oh yeah, absolutely, Russell. I don't. Listen, I'm not going to come on here and sound like a buffoon. I'm not going to come on here ranting and raving, swearing and blinding. It's not. You're not going to see that from me. So yes, it's absolutely different to how I watch. I've watched the games this season, Russell. But it doesn't change the fact that I don't want that to be on my channel, and I can compose my thoughts after the game and go through it a bit more calmer, rather than watching us concede goal after goal and just losing my head on screen. I don't want to be one of those guys. So yeah, if you want to say Dr. Jekyll and Hyde, yeah. But my opinion straight after the game is as real as it gets. I won't change anything. I will give you exactly what I'm thinking, but it will just be in a calmer manner. And I think that's right. I don't want to be a blinding mess. Um, Let's have a look. Jake's asking, do you think Bamford will be on the bench on Saturday? I see him starting against Villa. I think he said that he's going to look to see if he can put him on the bench, but it might be too soon. So maybe he can go next week. We'll just have to wait and see. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, listen, just touching on Leicester. I mean, Tom Bennett saying here, shame Ndidi is back this weekend. I think we can get at them though. Leicester are fragile this season, and they absolutely are. Leicester, for me, have been one of the most disappointing teams this season. Yes, they've had injuries this season. You know, they all seem to lose a fullback. That seems to be the thing for them. They all seem to lose Ricardo, who's a good player. I don't think he's been the same since his long-term injury. They're definitely a different team without Vardy. And if Vardy could have just postponed his comeback another week, that would have been great. But it looks like Vardy might be starting. And for me, I've said it on here before. I've seen it on I used to talk about it on Rance's show. Jamie Vardy is a Premier League legend. Legend. And I don't think his character is going to be appreciated until he's retired, because what he brings to the game is a bit of character, but he's got the quality to back it up, and that can't go unsaid. I absolutely love everything about Jamie Vardy in terms of the way he plays, and is just is absolute housery when he's celebrating at away fans. But we've got to contain them. That's something that our defensive midfield haven't been able to do to a lot of teams this season. We've got to contain them. And at Leicester, Tielemans is a good player, but he's hot and cold. If it goes against him on the day, he goes missing. I think Harvey Barnes is a good player. Harvey Barnes is going to be a danger. James Maddison will be a danger, obviously, from set pieces. Let's hope that our set pieces have improved in the last 4 days. And yeah, I mean, it all depends as well. Iheanacho, I rate Iheanacho a lot. They've got a lot of. That's the thing with Leicester. They've got a lot of dangerous players, but it's up to us as a team to stop them. And this is where I think the new coach and the new manager bounce probably comes in. And I mean, people are asking score predictions. People, we're going to end this very soon because I don't want to go too long on this one today. But give me your score predictions in the chat. If you're watching a replay, please give me your score predictions in the comments. It's a tough one to call, isn't it? Leicester have just had a really good result against Burnley, 2-0 away. Very good result. Burnley have come back over the last couple of weeks. But I don't know. I'm maybe it's the heart talking, and maybe it's what this manager's come in and said so far that's impressed me. Yeah, Patson Daka 2, Darren, it's gone up there, but yeah, Patson Daka 2. Luke W saying 2-2. Lee Travis 2-2. Kevin Echoes 3-1 Leeds. Darren 3-2. Marathon saying 1-1. 2-2 will suit me. A draw, yeah. Jono saying 2-0 to Leicester. Russell saying draw but not on score. Harmony, behave. Harmony, behave yourself. Oh my days. Bell saying 2-1 to Leeds. John Knox, Leicester 2-1. Low-key 2-1 Leeds. DE 2-0 Leeds. Inkata 2-1 Leeds. Jeremy saying, must admit, KG, when I noticed he was back the other day, I was peed off, especially as he scored 1-1 score draw, Vardy and Rodrigo. Yeah. Oh, sorry, this would be an absolute miracle. Leeds to keep a clean sheet, please. That would be great. We haven't had one, what is it, since November? That's a long time. That's a long time. Big up, Jugas. Hey to you, man. The Saints, a clean sheet would be a good result, would be tremendous. Marathon, just want a good performance. See, Marathon, I'm at the opposite end of that. And I said this back in November. This isn't even a recent thing, because at the time we weren't getting performances and we weren't getting results. So I said, if we're not getting the performances, let's just grind out results. For me, at this moment in time, we need the results. So even if the performance isn't great, I don't care. I don't care. Stephen A. Smith, I don't care. I just want the 3 points. So if we have to batten down the hatches and then sneak it, I will take it all day long. And if we have to do that for the next 5-6 games of this decent run that we've got coming up, I will take it. But listen, my score prediction, 2-1 to Leeds United. There, I said it. New manager bounce, 2-1 to Leeds United. Call me crazy. And maybe I'll regret this on Saturday. But I do. I've just got that feeling that we might go there, and with the new energy, new enthusiasm, new tactics, a new voice, a fresh voice, I think we might go there and win 2-1. I do. Yorkshire Pirlo, do you think Harrison will lose his place in the starting 11? Well, if he's going to put James back out on the wing, then he's got to, right? He has to lose it. And let's face it, Jack Harrison hasn't done enough this season to warrant a place in the starting 11. He just hasn't. Daniel James over Jack Harrison easily. Rafinha on the right, Gelhardt up front. But we don't know how he's going to line up. Is he going to have two strikers? We need to see. We need to see. That's all we can do. We can wait and see. Yes, yes, Bell. 2-1, man. Let's go. Jake, I would start Gelhardt up front and James on the left. Yeah, absolutely. Jay, I still think you guys will survive. Hey, there's for me. There's fresh hope. There's fresh hope, Jay. I don't know. I don't know what would have happened if we hadn't changed. I can't really say. But at this point in time, I do have a fresh outlook and think that maybe we will be okay. But the results are what matters. You know, it doesn't matter. All the talking, all of that doesn't matter. It's on the players as well, and that shouldn't go unsaid too. These players, they let down Bielsa. They let down Bielsa this season. Whether they tuned out, whether they stopped taking the message, whether they just couldn't do it anymore. A few of them did let him down this season. So now they need to give back to the fans this year who have supported them without boos. It wasn't until Tottenham that this team started to get booed while they were playing the game. That's true. When you think about that, where we've been this year with 5 league wins all season, that's tremendous from current fans. It is. It's a patient fan base. So the players owe us. They do. Alison and Marty, hey KG. Alison, Marty, of course, yeah. Hey KG, Alison here. I was very impressed with Jesse. Yeah, me too, Alison. I spoke about that all at the start, but yeah, I'm impressed with him too. Chris Baldwin, Bate, Gelhardt, Creswell should all start. Otherwise, they will be off in the summer. And it was good, Chris. You mentioned Creswell. It was good to hear him talk about Charlie Creswell today. He mentioned him being one of the young, impressive players, along with Joe Gelhardt and Crysencio Somerville. So who knows? We may even see a Somerville sighting again. When it looked like the door was closed on Somerville, maybe it's opened up again. But he did mention Gelhardt and Creswell in particular, along with Crysencio. So that is a good thing. I think even he'll see that we need these guys in there. And Jugas is saying a 3-1 Leeds win. But yeah, listen, people. So that's the preview. We do have to play at the maximum of our capabilities, as we have to do pretty much for the rest of the season. That's just what we have to do with the talent that we've got in the squad. But I do think, and this may bite me in the behind, but with the new manager bounce, we'll get a win this weekend. A point would be great. I would take a point. I'm not sticking my nose up at a point away at Leicester, because we are no better than that. But let's see if we can get a win. Let's see if we can get 3 points and shake up the bottom half, because at the moment we're the ones that have been sinking, and everyone else keeps on picking up points here and there. Let's get us back at the table and get us out of this predicament, man, because it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible looking at the table right now. But yeah, I'll be back after the game against Leicester, as you all know, with the post-match reaction to that game. I won't be doing a watch-along for this one, so no. But I will be back after the game. So please, smash a like on this video. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And I will see you all after the Leicester game. And hopefully we got 3 points to come back with. Peace.